So UFC 308 is this Saturday. We finally got a good card. Um, Not to say we haven't had good fights lately. We've had good fights. They've come and gone, but the last few cards and fight nights especially have been either mind blowing to watch for all the wrong reasons, or completely dull. But this card is stacked, and I said a lot about the uh, Hamza Whitaker fight, which I'll get into here. And yeah, so as for all my prediction videos, I'm not the best, right? I'm not gonna give you the weasel breakdown. This is just my thoughts about the fights, who I think will win, and potential matchups for them after. So, let's get into it. Now, starting off, Ilya Taporia versus Max Holloway. I feel like this is one of the one of the best title fights on paper we've had in a while. Obviously, we had Pereira versus Khalil a few weeks ago. That was one of the greatest light heavyweight title fights ever. But this one should be really good. Ilya Taporia, obviously undefeated, coming off of knocking out Alexander Volkanovski. Max Holloway, coming off of basically beating every contender and losing to the only people he's lost to is Dustin Poirier and Volkanovski. Um, he had one of the best performances at UFC 300 against Justin Gaethje, which had him ranked number one in both featherweight and lightweight, which I don't get why they took him off. I mean, probably because he's contending for the featherweight title. But, so, when you look at this fight, right, you have Max Holloway, the veteran, who's been in the UFC for years, a former champion, one of the greatest featherweights of all time. You look at the people who he's beaten, right? Uh, Maybe I can pull it up on here. I don't know. The UFC website is it's but uh maybe here. Okay, I guess this works. So when you go through Gaethje's career, right? Um, let's go. Oh, come on. I honestly should have pulled up the Sure Dogs and that, but I want to go all the way back to the actually here. Let's start at Pettis because this is when um he really took off. Or hold up, wasn't where is it here? So ever since 2013, right? If you're new to the sport, here's a history lesson. If you're an old fan, I'm gonna tell you a lot of shit you already know. But brief story of Max Holloway. He comes in, I think at like 18, uh, fights his way up, gets to McGregor, loses to McGregor by unanimous decision in a really good fight. But when you look at this, apart from one submission finish at the hands of Dustin Poirier, he went on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wins over guys like Oliveira, Holloway. He went on this massive streak, dominating people, beat Showtime Pettis by a third round knockout, knocked out Aldo to get the championship back. Uh, did it twice. He battered Ortega, which, if you haven't seen what Ortega was like after that Max Holloway fight, it was brutal. He moves up to lightweight to fight for the interim title against Poirier, loses to him for a second time, goes back to featherweight, beats Frankie Edgar. Really just a legend at the time, big name. Good win though. Um, then he loses to Volkanovski in that decision. Everybody agrees that Volkanovski won that fight, but he had two more very close fights with Volkanovski. This one, a lot of people thought Max won, and I've been on Instagram. I've been on all the pages and that, commenting here and there, and people say that Holloway won that second fight, and I've watched this fight a few times over the years. Watched it recently, like a week ago. I personally, in my opinion, I thought Max Holloway won the second fight. I just thought he put more pressure on Volk. That's just me. But either way, you look at this, he lost to Volk, and then he stayed on top, beat Calvin Kattar by decision, beat Yair Rodriguez by unanimous decision, got the third, yeah, this is the third fight, I'm sorry, I'm a little going here. Volkanovski, he lost to a third time, which at that time basically made it so it was impossible for him to fight for the title. Then he dominates Arnold Allen in one of the best performances he's ever had. And then he knocked out Korean Zombie in his retirement fight. And he's coming off of the massive performance against Justin Gaethje at UFC 300. When you look at, if we can go back here, Ilia Topuria, he is 15-0, as we all know. Pretty new to the UFC. Came off a knockout win against Volkanovski to win the title at UFC 298, I'm pretty sure it was. Really good performance. However, okay, that's my AC going. I genuinely thought something just fell. That scared me. Anyways, back to this. You look at Topuria, beat Volkanovski, knocked him out after Islam, beat Josh Emmett by unanimous decision, submitted Brace Mitchell, KO Jai Herbert, which Jai Herbert did catch him here. Very close fight. He then knocked out Hall, knocked out Jackson. Pretty much, he's younger, on a tear. We all know. Now, Ilia Topuria definitely has the grappling advantage. I feel like, and from what I'm hearing from a lot of fans, is they're taking Topuria by submission. Some are taking them by knockout, which, yes, Ilia Topuria is a good striker. He has power. But, I mean, you look at how many strikers Max Holloway has been up against. He's never been knocked out. Knock on wood. Oh, damn it. That was a dumb idea. There we go. I should rip that thing off, to be honest. But I'm going Holloway here. When you look at the win by on the UFC page, they have Holloway knocking out Topuria more likely than Topuria knocking him out, but Topuria is more likely by a submission. I'm not just going off stats here. Um, I'm going off of just the recent performance of Max Holloway. Like in my video on him, I said this. Ever since that third Volkanovski fight, I know that he quit sparring. That seems to have a huge effect on him. But he's changed up a lot in his game. Um, and, he was always known for being a volume striker. But he truly is, I think, top three striker in the UFC right now. Like, obviously, we'd probably have to go up Pereira. I mean, not probably. Pereira is, a double champ in kickboxing and MMA. But yeah, I'm going Max Holloway. I think Max Holloway will get it done by fourth round TKO. I don't know. I feel like after that third fight with Volkanovski, something clicked in his head, and he's just been unbelievable. And the thing is that when Volkanovski had the belt, Max Holloway and him were putting identical performances on the same opponents. That's right. Like I really want to make a video on this trilogy because when I went back and looked at these fights recently, it really is one of the best trilogies, and I also want to do it with other ones like Cain Velasquez, JDS. Let me know in the comments if that would interest you. But anyways, that's my prediction for that fight. Now, I know one of you on my shorts asked me what I thought about this fight. And here's the thing. We know Hamza Chimaev is a freak. We know that he has a clear wrestling advantage. We know he has reach. Reach as much as much. I don't know. Does he? Yeah, he does have reach. But here's the thing. His last performance was against Kamaru Usman, who came to the fight off 10 days' notice, right off the couch, and when I went back and watched that fight, when I watched it back the second time, I really thought, oh, that was disgusting. I really thought that Usman was taking over that fight at the end, like near the second round and especially into the third. I thought Hamza gassed out. And when you look at Whitaker and you look at what has made him such a dominant force in middleweight, I would argue top three middleweight all time. I still think he won that second fight against Izzy, but when you look at his last performances, first round knockout against Aliskerov, phenomenal performance. Unanimous decision against Paulo Costa. Got knocked out by Dricus, who would go on to beat Strickland and then submit Israel Adesanya and now Dricus is going to fight Strickland in the rematch. We'll see who wins this fight. Um, but you look at before Dricus, he beat Vittori. Uh, I argue he won that second fight against Adesanya. Beat Gastelum, beat Cannonier, beat Taylor. Like, Robert Whittaker is, like, the only way to describe him is a beast, right? Now, injury. The funny thing is, I find it funny nobody's talking about this. Actually, Robert Whittaker with his past injuries against Hamza, this really, I don't know. I kind of find it funny in a way. However, Robert Whittaker wasn't near death. But when you look at Hamza though, Hamza obviously being one of the biggest stars in the UFC, the UFC, like the one fighter that they really want to get behind is Chimaev. However, the fact that he's married to a daughter of a terrorist kind of makes that hard, which I still haven't made a video on that one. That's a good one. But when you look at his career, right, he went his first 3 fights, I think, without taking a single punch. Like, what made him popular in his 3 fights, he had a total of, what's this, 4 minutes, 23, 4 minutes, 40 seconds total in your first 3 fights, and he wasn't hit once. And then he fought Jingwei Yang, who, is one of those guys that is just right out of the top welterweights. Like, man, I love Li Jingwei, but, like, we all know he ain't gonna make it up there. If he went on a good run, though, I feel like a lot of people, including myself, will get behind it. But yeah, no, it's not gonna happen. But that was a great win by him. He basically mauled and strangled Wei Jingwei, dominated Gilbert Burns. Then you have this weird night where he was booked against Nate Diaz, and then he missed weight by 8 pounds, was it? Conveniently, after everybody was saying that the UFC is just feeding Nate Diaz to a wolf, which they kind of were. But, like, can you imagine an alternate reality where this fight happens, Nate Diaz beats Hamza Chimaev and goes and fights Jake Paul? Like, that would have destroyed. And again, too, this is the same Nate Diaz that nearly knocked out Leon Edwards. Well, like, the funny thing about the Diaz brothers, and this goes for Nick too, and this is a complete side tangent, I know, is that, like, both of them have points in their career where had they won a fight, like, had they won a fight, had Nick Diaz not gotten that fucking stupid suspension for pot, that was beyond fucking retarded. 5 years. TJ Dillashaw gets 2 years. You have Khalil Roundtree that gets a title shot after a PED test. And we ban Nick Diaz. Again, I've made so many videos on Nick Diaz going through his career. But anyways, didn't fight Nate Diaz. Good. Submitted Holland in the first round. Which again, Holland is a legit dude. I know he just got injured, but yeah. And then, like I said, Usman is the perfect comparison for Whitaker, I think, because the areas that Usman struggles with is definitely the striking, even though him and Trevor Whitman really worked that out well uh, around the Masvidal fight, and especially in the second one. Um, but I just look at the way I see this fight, right? Is I think Robert Whitaker will be able to at least defend a few takedowns. I feel like he will be able to put together better combinations against Hamzat. Unless Hamzat can catch him, or unless Hamzat can overpower um, Whitaker in the first, I just I see Whitaker. The longer this fight goes, the more I favor Whitaker. But I just feel that Whitaker's takedown defense, um, and the fact that he is a middleweight and he had a full, I mean, he's had 2 training camps now, um, to prepare for Hamzat. But I think that Whitaker will be able to do what Usman was able to do at the end of their fight better than Usman can. So I'm gonna go with Robert Whitaker by unanimous decision. Um, I would love to see him in Strickland. I know that that's a fight that everybody wanted to see booked before this. We got Paul Costa Strickland. That was kind of a weird fight too. But yeah, going with Whitaker. Next we have Magomed Ankalaev versus Alexander Rakic. Magomed Ankalaev, right? This is the guy who we expected uh, was next for a title shot, but he got announced for this fight, and then we got the surprise announcement against Khalil. So, this being a number one contenders fight, I've been going back and forth on this fight so much because I know Magomed Ankalaev is the clear number one contender. But I also think too, Rakic did give Yuri a lot of trouble in their fight. And, you know, you look at what Pereira obviously did to Yuri. Yuri really is one beat. Like, I really hope. I assume the UFC is gonna make Khalil versus Jamal Hill, just because they're already selling that fight. Um, like, you got so much hype around that fight. You got your heel, you got your face in WWE terms. But, hmm. You know, here's the thing though, this is tough because now I'm thinking about the Jan Blachowicz fight, and you look at that, he went to a draw. But the other fact of the matter is, yeah, I know my English is good, don't judge me, is that Ankalaev, I mean, obviously compared to Pereira, isn't active. We're really giving him a number one contender fight off of a win on Johnny Walker. I know he had the draw with Jan Blachowicz, but I don't know. But I think, with the win over um, Rakic, obviously number one contender. That being said, I'm gonna stick to my guns. I'm gonna go with Magomed Ankalaev, even though he's 20 pounds overweight. I don't know, dude. I know the Dagestan thing. Maybe this is just me being spiteful, but I think Rakic does it. Um, so yeah, I'll go Rakic by decision. Well, Rowan Murphy versus Dan Ige. This is a really good fight, and man, that Barboza fight, it really pained me to watch that. But Rowan Murphy really he outclassed Barboza. Like that was I know Barboza is old. He isn't the old Barboza, but man, that was a phenomenal performance. But then you have Dan Ige, who was coming off of his UFC 303 performance against Diego Lopez. This guy, which obviously too, he stepped in on short notice, and that was one hell of a fight. But yeah, I really like this fight, and it's tough for me. Like again, all these fights are tough. See, well, Roman Murphy is a younger guy. He had a phenomenal performance against Barboza, but I don't know, man. Danny Gay in that Diego Lopez fight was looking really fucking good, dude. And that was short notice. Um, I'm gonna go with Roman Murphy. I'll go by decision. But yeah, again, like, I think that fight is tougher for me than that fight. But yeah, going with Roman Murphy. Next, we got the one-eyed wonder, Shara Magomedov versus Arma Petrosyan. Obviously, this fight is really just a way to get Shara Magomedov more fans. Obviously, he's a freak. Undefeated Russian. The other guy's Russian. But, yeah, I just, the Russian voodoo wrestling magic will win. He's gonna become a good contender. Jokes aside, though, he is fucking terrifying. Like, he is terrifying. Like, we give Bisping his props for fighting with one eye. But, like, you imagine this guy running at you and throwing hooks. Like, man, like, he looks like, man, you remember, okay, if you watch WWE, like, this man looks like Eric Rowan with a wig. Which, if you didn't watch WWE in the mid 2010s, I don't blame you. It was dog shit. But they had like the Wyatt family with Bray Wyatt, Eric Rowan, and Luke Harper. But two of them died. Eric Rowan's the only living one, sadly. But yeah. I don't know why I made that so fucking dark, but yeah, Shara Magomedov, we're gonna go with him. Next on the prelims, We got Evil Aslan versus Rafael Cirqueria. I don't know. This one, I don't know who to pick really. I like Evil Aslan. I kind of lean towards him, but the fights I've seen from Rafael, dude, like these guys are both fucking monsters, dude. Um, I'll go Evil Aslan, and I don't know. I'll go by knockout, second round maybe, considering everybody. Like, okay. Alright, so I didn't watch the weigh-ins now. Like, maybe that's on me. Sorry if I'm not showing my, you know, true fandom. I have other shit to do. But, like, why is everybody overweight on here? Alright, anyways. We move to Jeff Neal versus RDA. RDA, obviously former lightweight champ, legend. What is he coming off of again? I forgot. He is coming off of a loss to Gamrot and Vicente. Yeah, that's right. Okay, now I remember. Now, originally, this is supposed to be Nick Diaz. Oh, wait, no. No, I'm mixing up my fights completely. Dude, I don't. No. I don't know what I'm saying. That's 310 or 39. Whatever. Jeff Neal, RDA. RDA is a legend. I love him. But Jeff Neal's probably gonna knock him out. Sad to say, but yeah. Although RDA could fuck around and get a submission. But yeah, I really think Jeff Neal is just gonna knock him out. We're going down, right? Yeah, Matheus Rebecca versus this guy. What the hell? Okay, there we go. So, we got Rebecca versus Orlab. Okay, like, is this thing about to, like, blow up my computer? I don't know if you guys can hear the fan, but, like, you look at Rebecca, he's coming off of a loss to Ferreira. Besides that, though, he was on a 3-fight win streak. Really good striker. Submission threat. Again, dude, like, this is pissing me off, man. Against Oroba. You look at his fights in the UFC. He submitted Medic, and he won against. He beat Brenner by unanimous decision. Why is my computer okay? Like, I don't know if that's picking up on the camera, but like my computer really sounds like it's about to explode. I'll go Orlova. I just nothing against Rebecca. I just from his last fight I saw holes. And yeah, I like what I see from Orba, however you say it. Abus Malgamero versus Bruno Ferreira. honestly, when I was looking at this fight before, I was just gonna go with the Magomedov, just because I kind of suspect if they were to rig it, they're definitely gonna go for the Russians. But when I went through Bruno Ferreira, this guy is genuinely terrifying. Like first round knockout, first round knockout, first round knockout. Like this guy is genuinely a beast lurking in the shadows. So I'm going to go with Bruno Ferreira. I expect him to knock out Augusto Magomedov. However, if it goes to decision, I don't even need to watch it. It will be a rigged decision. That's a wild accusation, but yeah, I don't know. I made it. Come at me. Next, we got Chris Barnett versus Kennedy Mizuki. I forgot who. Man, I'm totally blanking. I think Barnett is was supposed to replace either Volkov or Silgan, but now that fight is completely off. Like, yeah, this card nearly was one of the greatest of all time on paper. But, anyways, Chris Barnett against Kennedy Mizuki. We know Chris Barnett, that guy that does front flips. Basically, two dudes that are gonna swing at each other. I'm gonna pick Barnett to win by first round knockout. But I mean, yeah, it's a heavyweight fight. I could be wrong, but yeah. Next, we have Victor Hugo versus Fahid Basharad. This is a really fun fight. Like, when I was going through the prelims, like, this fight really stuck out to me. I really like Victor Hugo's style, and I like Basharad. I think it'll be a fun fight. I'm gonna go with Victor Hugo. Probably by decision. But, yeah. Next, we have Ismail Nardiv versus Bruno Silva. You look at Ismail Nardine. Dude, like, this computer's pissing me off. I should get a new one, but like this computer's relatively new. You look at his recent fights, how to fight with Brady. You know, pretty much. Okay, this is really pissing me off. When you look at him though, kind of a 500 fighter. That's him. You look at Bruno Silva though, probably most famously known for his fight against Pereira. But he's coming off of a loss to Weidman, where Weidman kind of shocked us in his return. Lost to one-eyed man. But, yeah. Bruno Silva is just sadly the guy that every up-and-comer needs to beat, and Brad Tavares. Um, you know, I know Nadir is probably gonna win this fight, but you know what? I'm gonna root for Bruno Silva. I think he got this. I think he can turn it around. Um, then we're down. Is this the opener? Yes, it is. We're down to the opener between Renat Fakradinov versus Carlos Leo. You look at this fight. These two, I'm pretty sure these two are debuting if I'm, no? Okay, I'm showing how much I don't know. No, okay, I'm completely thinking of a different card. But yeah, yeah, dude, man, today's a long day, alright? I went all the way to Calgary, long drive, but I don't know. For this fight, oh my god, for my PC crashers, I'm gonna go Carlos Leo. I'm gonna go by submission in the second round. I don't know. I want to see an upset. Why not? But that's what I got. I know it kind of shows who I know and who I don't. But those are my predictions. Thanks for watching. If you did stick through the entire video, thanks. But yeah, let me know your predictions in the comments down below. And yeah, later.